Photoshop and simply going to drag this image over to the icon of Photoshop. So here's our image inside of Photoshop, and what I want you to pay close attention to is the ratio here that's being displayed. This is our image at 66.7%. So the computer is actually translating the pixels to display this image. So this is 66.7%. Now, if I hit Command 1 on my keyboard, you notice that it's a shortcut for zooming in. But what we're actually doing when we're zooming in is that we're actually translating or changing how the pixels are being read by the resolution of the monitor. So at a ratio of 100%, or a zoom ratio of 100%, the screen's pixels and the image pixels are at a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're actually seeing the information of our file if we look at an image at 100% in Photoshop. So this gives you a good idea of how different this photograph is in terms of resolution for the screen. It's larger than can fit on the screen, and it's a pretty good sized file for the web. And it's a really good file for the web, actually. If we look at the application bar at the top and we hit image and then image size, the image size dialog box comes up. And notice I'm going to just pull from the corner here to maximize our real estate with this dialog box. Notice here that it's giving us our image already at 100%. The reason for this is that the image size dialog box is where we're going to be resizing our images. We're going to be resizing our images to print, and we're also going to be resizing our images for the web. So we want to see our image at 100% because we don't want to get rid of information if we have to resample or resize our image. So unpacking this image size dialog box for a second, we can see that here we have the pixel array of our image. We're at roughly 1,700 pixels by 2,200 pixels. So if we quickly multiply that, if we say 1,700 times 2,200, we have a roughly 3 megapixel file, so 3.7 megapixel file here. And if we look at how this translates in terms of resolution, and if we wanted to make a print with this file, look at the resolution here. It's set at 300. If we can think about actual space here, this is ready to go to the printer, but we still don't know how large the photograph is going to be printed at. So I'll go ahead and change this from pixels to inches here. And you can see that with the resolution and the information that we have, we're able to print roughly a 6 by 7 inch photograph. So this all matters, especially when you're thinking about the media you're printing on, if it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and so on. So these are some standards that we're going to be looking out for. And again, I just came over here and I changed it from pixels to inches here, just to give a clue as to what was actually happening with the resolution. I didn't actually change anything in terms of the file. If we notice that our image size is set and we have 11.2 megabytes of information. So this is what that translation means. It's the size of the file, and it's how much information is actually being stored on the file. So if you were to change it and copy it to someplace else, you would be transferring 11 megabytes of information. So this is really interesting because if we wanted to change this file for the web, we could change the resolution here. If we wanted to change it from 300 to 100, we can notice that the actual size of the file has changed, and it's a very different pixel array. We have our file here at 100%. It's very small, and it was 11 megabytes, and now it's 1.2 megabytes. So we, just by changing the resolution from 300 pixels per inch to 100 pixels per inch, we've gotten rid of a lot of information here. And so the resolution here is interpreted as the overall display size on the left. But what we're actually learning is that when we want to actually print our file, we're going to make sure that this resolution is set at 300. And remember from the slides before, a good range is anywhere from 200 to 360 in terms of the resolution, pixels per inch. So that's something that you want to check and double check, and also make sure you're looking at inches when you're making your file to print. So stay tuned for another video, because in the next video we're going to actually resize our image. We're going to translate our image from what it might look like coming from the scanner and then making it fit within a print.